Hey guys, it's Katie. Welcome back to my channel. Today, we're going to be reading 1-star reviews for my favorite books. I'm so excited about this video. I think this is gonna be really fun. And as much as I hate disclaimers, I feel like I need to say this, that this is 100% just for fun, just for laughs. Whatever reviews I end up pulling up and stuff, like, don't be mean to the people who wrote them. They are perfectly entitled to that. I'm not offended by what they say. I probably hate books that they love too. Like, it's totally cool. Also, I was making a list of the books that I wanted to use for this video. So I was like, what are my favorite books? Like, blah, 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 blah. And I came up with such a long list. And that would make this video like way too long. And then we wouldn't be able to like actually spend time on any one book. So I'm only gonna do a couple. And if you guys end up liking this video, give it a thumbs up so I know. And I'll make a part 2 with some other books and stuff. And I'm thinking I might do the opposite, like reading 5-star reviews for books that I hate. So let me know if you want to see those down below in the comments. I think they could be fun videos. But yeah, I'm gonna pull up Goodreads. That's where we're gonna find the reviews. And I'm nervous, but I'm excited. So the first one we're gonna do is kind of what this channel used to be known for like 2 years ago, like when I first started making videos. That is The Unbecoming of Mara Dyer by Michelle Hodkin. Should I get the book? Let's get the book. Do you guys like my sweatpants? I like look like I'm dressed from here, but it's an editing day. I'm editing like 3 different videos today, so I'm just sitting on the couch, so sweatpants. Of course, the book I need is like horizontal under stuff. So we're gonna start with The Unbecoming of Mara Dyer by Michelle Hodkin. This is the first book in a series. If you've never read it, it's about this girl who's in an accident with her friends and they all die. She's the only survivor and she's suffering from PTSD from the accident. And the whole story is told in her point of view, but she's like an unreliable narrator because she's having these kind of like hallucinations. And so you don't know if there's something like weird and supernatural happening to her or if she's just dealing with mental illness. And I think what these books are most known for is the love interest, Noah Shaw. So that's just some background info. Now let's go pull it up on Goodreads. It's a pretty popular book. It has over 140,000 ratings on Goodreads. I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. The average rating is a 4.08 stars. So it's pretty well loved across the board. But we're gonna go in and we're gonna go down to the 1-star reviews. I feel like this is like self-destructive behavior. Which one do I want to read? We're gonna do this review. Oh my god, we're gonna do this one. So the reviews, oh my god, it's so long. Oh, I love this. The review starts with, I almost smashed my phone reading this book. I quite literally threw it at a wall. I hate this book. I hate it so much with every fiber of my being. And she says, so much hate. All caps, periods between each of the words in bold. Oh, she's passionate. I'm here for it. So here are my overall thoughts. So she's got bullet points of all of her issues with the book. Boring characters, insta-love with a lot of question marks. Stereotypes, also all bold, all capitalized. Literally so many stereotypes. British love interest. He's like 16 and smokes, so cute. Not. And then she's got like quotes from the book which are kind of cringy. Lots of stuff about the stereotype, lots of cliches. Angst. Also all capitalized, also all bolded. Slut shaming, slightly ableist. More quotes from the book. The sibling relationships are weird. We're coming back to that. Is it possible to be in pain from so many cliches? Because I am. What the fuck is this ending? Honestly, it's a piece of shit. I would like to punch all the characters in this book, thank you. Pros. She has some pros. There's diversity. Mara and her family are Indian. The writing style was actually pretty good, to be honest. I think cons, everything else. This book was so dumb. Oh my god. I'm going to go cry now because I really wanted to like this book. I went in so excited and I'm so disappointed. Honestly, I feel for you because I've had that experience with a lot of books. Okay, we're gonna go back to the comment of hers that hit me the most. That the sibling relationships are weird. Oh, that hurts me. If you guys have read this series, if you haven't, you should, because it's my favorite series. But Mara has 2 brothers, one's older and one's younger. And the relationships between the siblings is literally like my favorite thing in the book. It's so precious. They're like good friends. It's just like I always wanted relationships with siblings like that. Like it was so cute. I loved that. That's so sad. And I'm gonna be totally real with you. A lot of her points are totally fair. Totally valid. I read this book when I was 16, when I was like really getting into YA. I'm 22 now. So I completely understand if I had gone into this book for the first time when I was 22. After having read like way more books than I have when I was 16, I think I would have been more affected by the stereotypes, the cliches and stuff, because they are totally there. Like they're totally there. The 16-year-old me was like all here for it. Like, yes. I do think this book has some questionable things in it. I think the author improved upon those with each book in the series. Jokes that could definitely be interpreted as offensive, and like the character's sense of humor is a little bit like iffy. Also, the ending, like it's a really good ending if you read the whole series. Like the series, everything gets explained later. Like a lot of the things that don't make sense in this first book, if you only read the first book, yeah, you're like, what the heck? But if you read the rest of the series, you go back and you're like, oh, this makes so much sense. Oh, this was so smart. Oh, this was so clever. Like, you have to read all the books. But I understand if you hated it, why you wouldn't, like, obviously. She's also like slamming some of my favorite quotes from the book. Oh, this is funny. What's funny is I love this book for the reasons that she hates it. Like, she lists them out, and I get it. I get it, but I loved it. The insta love is real. I mean, it kind of explains later, but like, that's valid. Stereotypes, valid. Should we move on to another review? I think we should move on. So this next review says, if I had to pick the top 10 worst books I've ever read, The Unbecoming of Mara Dyer would be one of them. It ranks up there with Halo, Hush Hush, and Fallen. I haven't read Halo, but I have read Hush Hush and Fallen, and honestly, that's not fair, because I also liked Hush Hush and Fallen back when I read them in high school. And yes, granted, they were bad. I feel like The Unbecoming of Mara Dyer is a step up from those. I would not clump those together. That's not fair. This person complains that while the cover is very nice, it has nothing to do with the actual book. Metaphorically, it kind of does. Okay, you can't come for the covers of these books. I'll put them all up on the screen so you can see them. They're literally my favorite covers, like ever. Also, lots of books have covers that have nothing to do with the book. You can trash this book for a lot of things, but not these covers. These covers are bomb. I found pretty much every aspect of the substance of this novel to be problematic, starting with the characters and their relationships. While there are many books that are problematic, and there are many elements in different books that are problematic, I think it's become like trendy to just like slander every book as problematic. This is problematic, when books that like they're actually not, like they're not romanticizing the problematic elements, they're actually trying to like draw attention to its problematic nature. Granted, there are definitely things in this book that are, again, like I said, not politically correct, but I wouldn't go so far as to say it's a problematic book. This is a totally valid point. Noah Shaw is the perfect example of a wish fulfillment love interest. Yeah. The whole Noah Shaw character, if you read him past the age of 16, you're gonna roll your eyes. I know that. He's the 16-year-old British kid, so he's got like a British accent. He smokes, which is supposed to be like cool, but oh man, I can't tell you these things or it's gonna spoil the book. He's like super rich, but he drives a Prius because he can. He's super smart. He's a lady killer. He defends the main character Mara all the time, like all of the, you know, the usual wish fulfillment love interest. That's a valid point. Noah is supposed to be a sexy playboy, but I found him to be one of the most vile heroes in YA literature. All of his flaws would be fine and dandy if he were the villain of the story. Having quick comebacks doesn't make her strong when she behaves like a spineless jellyfish. That's talking about the main character. And honestly, Mara in this first book, she's a little annoying. Maybe not annoying, she's a little frustrating. I'll give you that. So both of these reviews have complained about the slutty, bitchy, blonde girl. There is the like mean girl stereotype in here, and that is something about this book that's always bothered me. So yeah, that's a valid point. And then they go into the issues with the accuracy of like psychology and Mara's medications and whether or not Mara is having like side effects and stuff. So I'm not a professional in that. I don't know, like it comes across as believable in the book to me. That's not something I'm nitpicky about, but both of these reviews have admitted that they liked the writing style of this book, and that's actually my favorite part about this book. So that's good that we can all agree on that. I think we're just gonna do one more review and then we'll move on to a different book. Okay, this person says, I was flipping back and forth between 1 and 2 stars, but I think I have settled on 1 because I do feel like I was lured into something bad that was disguised as something good, and that feels like lying. I was drawn to the book by the cover. Okay, so she's got a really big problem with the romance in the book and the way our main character like says she's not gonna fall for the guy but then does fall for the guy. Fair. The language itself left something to be desired. I'm even really talking about the cussing that was going on, but I know no teenagers who speak like Mara and Noah, and at times their conversations were awkward to the point of heavy eye rolling on my part. I don't know. When I was 16 and I was reading this, like it felt pretty authentic to like the way that I talked and like other people talked, and that's actually something I really liked about this book was the dialogue and the banter between Mara and Noah. I don't know if I agree with that, just because you don't speak like that you think it's totally outlandish that anyone would speak like that, and she doesn't like the messages that this book is giving. What is this telling young people? Yeah, fair. If you're going off of this relationship, it's not super healthy. It's not great. Like, it's not the worst I've read in YA, but you're right, it's not great. Okay, we'll move on to the second book. I might only do 2 books in this video, honestly, with how long this is taking. Maybe I'll do one that you guys probably know, because I know The Unbecoming of Mara Dyer, it's like a hit or miss whether or not people have read it. So let's go with Shatter Me by Tahereh Mafi, because I know people hate this book. Of course, this literally at the bottom of this giant stack. Yeah, I have the ugly original cover, so maybe we won't look at this for too long. Shatter Me is another one. I think I read this around a similar time as The Unbecoming of Mardyr, so it's not super clear in my head, but I loved it at the time. I've read the whole series. I just read Restore Me this year. If you don't know what Shatter Me is about, while I pull up the reviews, it's a young adult series and our main character has this power where if she touches anyone, she kills them and she doesn't have any control over it. So we start the book with her being imprisoned because everyone's afraid of her and someone breaks her out, but we don't know if that person is like doing it because they want to help her or because they want to use her, and she doesn't trust anyone because she's like never had anyone in her life. She's basically like this scared little mouse that's like sitting in a corner at the beginning of this book, and then the whole series ends up having like an X-Men vibe to it. It's a really fun young adult series and it has a really weird writing style, and the way that I've always interpreted that is our main character's like not quite there at the beginning because she's like has no human contact, she's been locked up her whole life, and so I'd always interpreted the weird writing style, because it's a first person narrative from her point of view, as kind of illustrating the state of her mind. Like that's why the writing is kind of like that, if that makes sense. And some people clearly did not interpret it that way and literally just thought this writer was a terrible writer. All right, here we go. This person says, I deserve a medal for finishing this book. Like the Olympic gold medal in the anti-DNF games people. Relatable. It took me 3 months to finish this book. Wow. This took me like a day. Like the writing style is so fast that you must have really hated it if it took you that long. This book annoyed me on several different levels. One, Juliet's power or glitch or whatever the hell it is never fully explained in detail. It's skirted around in a mass of overwrought metaphors and complete bullshit. 2, said overwrought metaphors. 3, the writing itself in general. Okay, so she is one that hates the writing. Despite having a degree in English and literature, I am usually pretty easygoing about typos and grammar, especially when it comes to self-published stuff. This isn't self-published. I mean, just look at the slang I use in my reviews. I am not a hard ass about this stuff. However, when I am holding a professionally published, finished copy of a mass-produced book and it contains strikeouts, sentences starting in lowercase letters, and numbers 1 through 10 incorrectly placed in number form, my inner grammar maven's granny panties get twisted so far up her ass it's impossible to focus. I mean, I get that it was all a stylistic choice, etc., that the sporadic all over the space, shitty sentence structure was supposed to reflect Juliet's instability, but I just can't get behind starting a sentence with 4, my friends. Okay, so that's a personal problem. I'm sorry. If you're like OCD and that's really gonna bother you, yeah, the writing style is like really weird and things are formatted differently and stuff, but if you can't look past that, the story itself is really cool, the characters are really cool. I really love this series, and if you're just gonna nitpick the way that she chose to write this, then just don't read, then the series isn't for you, because that's the way the whole series is written. And if that's your only complaint, it's your only complaint. Oh my god, this review is so long. We're just gonna do the spark notes on this one. She bolded all of her headings, so it's fine, it'll be helpful. My first reaction when I finished this book was, thank god it's over. The premise was slightly interesting. The execution was garbage. Absolutely ridiculous metaphors. We've got issues with her writing again. At first it was laughable, then it escalated to the point of, oh my god, can I die now? At least the writing style was easy to read, which helped me get to the end faster, or maybe that was just me skimming. But what made the whole book unenjoyable were the characters. Juliet was a whiny, annoying little bitch. Yes, I've heard that this series is about her growth and development as a character, but I'm judging only this book, and in this book she was annoying beyond tolerance. Fair. Okay, Juliet in this first book is hard to swallow. It does make the payoff when you read the whole series and you see her whole character development like that much more satisfying, but just in this first book, fair. The romance between these two was so obnoxious and cringy. Oh, she's talking about Adam and Juliet. Oh, I don't want to spoil this book for you if you haven't, can't comment on it. But yeah, you're right, Adam is annoying. Never liked him. She's coming for Kenji. Cannot relate on this one. Apparently I'm supposed to like him, but he seems to have no impressing traits or qualities besides being stupidly annoying like everyone else. Okay. Kenji is like the comedic relief in this series. He's a friend of Juliet's. He's so funny and lighthearted and just like a good guy. Like he's the one person in the series that you're just always rooting for. So to hate on him is like hating on a small child. I do not approve. Positives of my reading experience, she says. Getting to make status updates of my complaints and spread the hate and salt. Laughing at how ridiculous everything was, using Google to add to my vocabulary and learn synonyms of the word annoying in order to write this review and describe the many annoying things about the book. I originally rated this 2 stars, but after writing this review and finding no positives of the book whatsoever, I lowered it to 1 star. She has like 10 exclamation points behind every sentence. Everything pissed me off so much and I just hate this book. Save yourself and stay away. That was hilarious. Okay, I'm someone who loves negative reviews. I make them myself all the time, so I have appreciation for people who make them even when I loved the book. Like, I understand your frustration, maybe not with this book, but like in general. So yeah, this video, I'm just like looking at the time on here, is gonna be so long just with these 2 books. So I think I'm only gonna do these 2 books today. And if you like this video and you want me to do a part 2 with some other books, just give it a thumbs up and let me know down in a comment. Let me know what books you want me to look at. That would be cool. And if you've read either of these books, let me know what you thought of them, whether you loved them like I did or you hated them like these reviews did. But yeah, anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. This was really fun for me to make. And if you haven't already, I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel. I put up at least 2 new videos every single week, and then you won't miss it when I put up a part 2 to this video. And I'll just see you guys in my next video very, very soon. Bye.
So hit me. So hit me. So hit me. First a confession. With you, I feel a connection. With you, it's